This video lesson will teach you to define the transitive property of congruence, describe the difference between congruence and similarity, explain what similar triangles are, use the transitive property to prove that size is the only difference between similar triangles. Let's start. What does similar and congruent mean? Objects are similar to each other if they have the same shape but are different in size. We say that a 6-year-old boy is similar to an 18-year-old adult man. Triangles can be similar. Objects are congruent if they are the same shape and size. Two equilateral triangles with sides 2 meters long are congruent, since their angles and sides are all the same. What is the transitive property of congruence? The transitive property of congruence states that two objects that are congruent to a third object are also congruent to each other. If giraffes have tall necks, and Melman from the movie Madagascar is a giraffe, then Melman has a long neck. In geometry, we can apply the transitive property to similarity and congruence. Another way to think of it is that if one thing is like a second thing and the second thing is like a third thing, then the first thing is like the third thing. This is the transitive property at work. If A equals B and B equals C, therefore A equals C. The three little dots are a mathematical shorthand for therefore. Since A is like B and B is like C, therefore A is like C. You use this property a lot in algebra when solving for variables. If you have two expressions with the same term in each, you can use the transitive property of congruence to connect other terms in expressions. For example, A equals 4 plus 2B. 4 plus 2B equals C. Therefore, A equals C. In geometry, triangles can be similar and they can be congruent. Similar triangles are proportional to each other and have the same interior angles. The only difference is the length of their sides. For two similar equilateral triangles, all interior angles will be 60 degrees. Say a small triangle has a side 3 meters, while a larger, similar triangle has a side 15 meters. Because the two triangles are similar, we know the sides of the larger triangle are 5 times larger than the small one. Suppose we have two right triangles and want to see if they are similar. The sides of the small one are 3, 4, and 5 centimeters long. The corresponding hypotenuse of the larger triangle is 20 centimeters long. Let's compare the ratios of the two hypotenuses, 5 to 20, which simplifies to 1 to 4. If the other sides have the same proportion, the two right triangles are similar. Measure and see. 3 to 12, 4 to 16. All three ratios have the same proportion of 1 to 4, so the two triangles are similar. What are transitive triangles? Just as you use the transitive property of congruence to relate terms in algebraic expressions, you can also use the transitive property of congruence to connect similar triangles. Draw a triangle and label it CAT. Draw a triangle similar to and label it DOG. Now draw a triangle labeled ELK that is similar to triangle DOG. What do you know about the relationship between triangle CAT and triangle ELK? Triangle CAT is similar to triangle DOG, and DOG is similar to triangle ELK. Therefore, triangles CAT and ELK are similar to each other. In mathematics, a special symbol called a tilde is used to show similarity. So we can write the entire similarity and congruence in mathematical notation. Now, let's apply the transitive property of congruence. Knowing that for any objects, geometric or real, Z is similar to A, and A is similar to P, tells us that Z is similar to P. But how can we use that information? For triangles, all the interior angles of similar triangles are congruent, because similar triangles have the same shape but different lengths of sides. Let's make triangles Z, A, and P. If triangle Z has an angle opposite the shortest side of 37 degrees, triangle A also has an angle opposite its shortest side of 37 degrees, because we said triangle Z is similar to triangle A. We also know that triangle P has the same 37 degrees in the same position because it is similar to triangle A. We also know that triangle Z is similar to triangle P. Using the transitive property of congruence on triangles allows you to prove the only difference in similar triangles is their size. Lesson summary. By watching the video and reading the lesson, you now are able to explain the difference between congruent and similar, and define the transitive property of congruence, which states that two objects that are congruent to a third object are also congruent to each other. You can also explain what similar triangles are and use the transitive property to prove that size is the only difference between similar triangles.